People who were mentioned in someone's self-mutilation note. What's your story? My boyfriend unalived himself when I was 18. He was 19, and I waited 7 years, January of this year, to read his whole note. When he first passed away, I took care of his elderly parents for months following because he was an only child and they could barely function, let alone plan a huge funeral. It was horrible. It took every ounce of strength that I had to get through that time and care for them on top of it. I found the note underneath the bowl pipe that I had let my boyfriend, which he had hidden in a false bottom compartment thing in the center console of his car. I read the first few lines and then immediately hid the note in my favorite book. I couldn't bring myself to muster the courage to read it completely at that time, but what I had read had been enough to absolutely shatter his parents, and I didn't have the heart to give it to them. I kept it for years, and with each year that passed, I held on to more and more guilt. I completely spiraled downwards after the funeral, drinking heavily, putting myself in danger and avoiding the world. I moved halfway across the country, maybe to start fresh, or maybe to run away, I don't know. I kept the unread note. It weighed heavily on my bookshelf for years. I almost read it many times, usually when I was drunk or self-mutilation myself, but I was always too afraid to find out that my fears were true, that there was something that I could have done or something that I had done to cause him to do such a horrible thing. His parents are actually doing well now. They're selling the house. Finally they got a dog and are more actively involved with family and friends. I love seeing them allowing themselves to be happy when I know that they are still filled with a terrible grief. I'm not sure if I did the right thing by keeping the note, but after reading it, I'm certain that they wouldn't be the people that they are today if they had read what their son wrote about his life and about them when he was at the lowest point imaginable.